This is article number 2 that I wrote for Money Missions in 2006, titled Reciprocity from the Received, which I'm not even sure is proper English. I don't pretend that this is the most well-written article. It's great to see gratitude in the form of payback. And again, I'm not sure payback is the right word for what I'm trying to explain here, what I was trying to explain here. Our church in Tijuana received a huge boost from help by Canadian Mennonites, which is true. Only 6 men came down from the prairies, but the boys knew how to swing a hammer. They were men. Work they did in spite of language confusion, as commands and jokes were thrown out in English, German, Spanish, and Spanglish. At the end of almost 2 weeks, an amazing amount of projects were accomplished. The guys built a new bathroom, put in concrete floors, previously dirt or very poor concrete, in a handful of classrooms. So there was dirt floors in the classrooms and they poured down concrete. Put down a nice anti-slip tile and deluxed the trim with rubber-based baseboard. Re-roofed, expanded a classroom, patched up bird entry points in another classroom, constructed a large landscape block retaining wall, bulldozed a couple of previously unusable terrains, took down an already falling down fence, laid down gravel and soil cement in the parking lot, and built the world's most beautiful dumpster. I don't know if it's the world's most beautiful dumpster, but amazingly, it's built out of plywood and 2x4s, and it's still there and is still in use. And all of these things are still in use except for the bathroom. All of it is still in existence. Who else could do so much work other than blue-collar, dirty fingernailed Albertan immigrants? I don't know if I would call them that anymore. And not all of them were blue-collar, and I certainly wouldn't call them dirty fingernailed, but they were hard workers, that's for sure. Throughout their time, other than for breakfast, the 6 were amply supplied with rich Mexican food to fuel their work. Had our Mennonite friends eaten in restaurants for each lunch and dinner, their trip would have increased by $1,000 easily. However, on their own accord, the members of, I'll leave the church name out, provided them high-quality, tasty tacos, tostadas, tamarindo, tortas, and tamales. All true. A week after they left, I'll change his name, Salvador, and I took a stroll around the church property checking out the new additions and improvements. Salvador swallowed and said, "Híjole, Ben, they did so much work and we didn't do anything." "What are you talking about?" I quickly responded. After I worked out the above math, it became clear to him and clearer to me that we did step up. And I'm including myself in the church. So the church members pitched in more financially than any one of us would have been able to come up with in pure cash. Meaning all the meals that were provided for them. And they ate in people's homes and people brought them food. It's not good when folks in the third world or second world receive goods from the first world without one drop of sweat in return. Payback is what churns the butter. Probably scratch that last line. It's pretty dumb. But this is a true story of the Mennonite group. I'm still in loose contact with 2 out of the 6. And they did do pretty amazing work. And when I say amazing work, they really did. Very hard workers. This was not a spring break mission trip with a youth pastor and junior hires. They really did hard work, and the church at that time really did as much as I think they reasonably could in helping out with the project, hand in hand. It wasn't fully 50-50. One mentor of mine and I only have 2, said to me years ago, I will only work as hard as you work. So I can't say it was at that level, but it was miles ahead of what happens on most short-term mission trips. Hey, if you or anybody is going on a short-term mission trip now that COVID is maybe it's out of the headlines, and if you are going on a mission trip to Mexico or any Latin American country, or you know of anybody that's going on, or you're supporting somebody, my daughter always says that I should remind you to like and subscribe. I'm not really interested in the likes and the subscribe, but if you think this might be useful to them and the articles to come, maybe share the video.